Hey there, folks. Welcome to our run of Beam Saber by Austin Ramsey, inspired by Neon Yang's The Genesis of Misery. Before getting into things, I want to do a quick round of introductions for anyone watching. I am Steven, he, him. I am the GM for this particular run of the Reading Club. If we could go around I'll go by the character keeper here. So I see it's the empath, envoy, infiltrator, and hacker. If you could go by that order, if you could introduce yourself, your pronouns, and who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Chris. He, they. I am playing Petrichor, who is a ex-noble from the ducal estates. They have been ousted due to some political differences in their area, um, partially from being too much of a pacifist in the war and having different views of the faith. Um, what else am I saying?
That's about it. That's good.
Okay, cool. Well, and Patricore is they them. Sometimes he or she, depending on what's going on, but usually they them.
Cool. Could we introduce now our envoy?
Yeah, I am Cricket, pronouns they, them, but I am playing Kora, pronouns she, they. Cora Farah is the long version of that. Um, she is the envoy for this party. And just to give a quick refresher, she decided to put her neck on the line for Eddie, who she doesn't trust very much, last session during downtime. And I feel like that's going to put her in a sticky situation sometime, either this session or next. So something to look out for.
Cool. Yeah, now our infiltrator.
Yeah, hi, my name is Victor, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Leopold, our infiltrator, also he, him pronouns.
I am Roy, and I am playing Eddie. My pronouns are he, him, and Eddie's pronouns are he, him. Yeah, I'm playing Eddie, our hacker. And but you can call me Eddie, or you can forget that you ever saw me. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, before getting into things, as always, we're making use of a couple different safety tools. The first of these is the X card. If at any time you feel uncomfortable, feel free to make an X sign at the with your arms, say X card, type X card into chat. We'll usually ask what's being X carded, but we will not ask you to justify a reason. We'll take steps to remove it from the fiction and keep playing. Besides that, we're also making use of Lines and Veils, which is a living document we put together before play and check in about before we start recording every session. And we are also making use of Script Change, which is a set of terms that draw from video editing to help us talk about the fiction. Pause tells us to take a little break, talk about the fiction. Fast forward tells us to kind of montage this, like not get into the details, and we'll move on to the next scene. And rewind is let's go back and retcon something in the fiction. There's also frame by frame, which I haven't used much, but it's basically we all want to do a scene, but we're also realize it touches on some potentially uncomfortable material, so we're all turning the safety up to max and regularly checking in with folks. And finally, we're also making use of the Gauntlet's Open Door. This game is hosted through the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is an online gaming community focusing on mostly focusing on role-playing games of the indie and OSR varieties. And all games make use of the Gauntlet's Open Door policy, which is that, if for any reason you need to step away from the table, feel free. If you can let us know if and when you can get back, that's helpful for us in terms of framing scenes, but it's by no means required. So yeah, where we left off last time, we had just wrapped up downtime, And we were discussing a little bit about what the next mission you're going to go on is. So I put together some stuff here, but I'm curious, how is it when you're getting new missions, do you have somewhere in your uh base that you might go to for briefing, or is this just something you get via like an AR ping or something like that?
I feel like since we're out of like a military base of sorts that we've kind of repurposed, that there may be like a radio room or something, because Eddie is analog, so I don't know if he is wanting to communicate through AR a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
maybe that's how we get a lot of it. And some of it may be AR, but maybe that's like most of the time we meet up in this like room where we get different transmissions.
I like the image of kind of uh, scavenged or salvaged, the equipment and wires hanging everywhere, and I think we're trying to keep the appearance from outside of being a unused, so it's easy to pass by for scans or whatever. But so meanwhile we're as subtly as possible, rejiggering existing equipment and making use of it. So that sounds awesome.
But yeah, in that case, you've all been summoned to this communications room where the screen lights up with one of the screen lights up with the face of your commanding officer, Counselor Swan. Or not your commanding officer, but your direct superior in this case. He's the bureaucrat. He's not exactly an officer, but he did we settle on a name for your squad, or were we still thinking through that?
I was in favor of Cordiceps, but I don't know if we settled on that. But I know that that was one that we had talked about.
We're talking about parasitic or something that takes over from within, something. Yeah, that concept would certainly seem to fit the squad, but trying to think of something evocative.
Okay, cool. The screen lights up and it is Counselor Swan. He has his usual disinterested look on his face. He's rifling through several papers. Says, good. Cordyceps Squad, glad you are on hand. I have several of these briefings to get through today, so let's try to keep this fast. Yes. I've been put into contact with the reliquary, and they have a particular interest in they believe that a group of the Church of the Faithful may have gotten their hands on certain pieces, alien artifacts that they would like to contain and study. In particular, and since, well, Vulture Squad is busy right now, so I'm putting them into contact with you. As you are operational on Celia. It is, and this is kind of the details you get from him is that the target of this are the builders of the Divine Panoply, who are currently operating a humanitarian outpost on Port Prosperity, which is a refugee camp on Celia. Your mission here is to infiltrate and retrieve whatever artifacts they may have gotten their hands on. And he looks through his materials again. I believe that there are operating in the area is a group called the Broken Lances. They are not affiliated with us, but they have been useful assets before. I know that they have their own conflicts with the Empire, and well, it will certainly be they might be useful, they might be a complication. I suppose that's up to you. Do you have any further questions? Oh, right. And of course, we want to stress here that civilian casualties are off the is a no-go here. This is a little too public. We don't want to upset the locals too much. And well, due to certain diplomatic the situation between us and the Empire, we would prefer you not to initiate weapons play. Returning fire is of course acceptable, but that's only once you've been fired upon. So those are the rules of engagement that your faction is setting for this mission.
Well, Petrichor will be happy because they don't like violence. So
Sounds like typical rules of warfare.
He chuckles. You haven't been fighting this war long, Petrichor.
I've been fighting this war my whole life. Just not in the way that you have been.
Spice.
Let's just get this done. The more time we spend talking, the less time we're on the field. And the less time we're on the field, the less time we're in danger. Let's just go.
Mm-hmm. And so, unless you have any questions or things you wanted to bring up with him now or ask him about, you could also engage in some information gathering if you wanted prior to engaging in the mission.
I wanted to maybe reach out to Ismat and see if she knows anything about the Broken Lance, because I don't want to tread on anyone's toes if we're trying to approach this by non-violent means.
Okay.
Because I feel like she's probably, if there's any sort of criminal activity or anything that we need to know about on their part, she would probably be aware of it because she is a lawyer.
How do you reach out to Is? Oh, go ahead.
Who's the Broken Lance again?
The Broken Lances, you know them, is that they
Burning
are
lances?
what?
Burning or broken?
No, these are the broken. There are the burning lances, but the broken lances are explicitly they went AWOL. They are a neutral squad. They were once part of the burning lances, but they went AWOL for well, I mean, of course, according to the official sources, they went AWOL because of their of some sort of traitorous or criminal intent, obviously.
Yeah. But I don't believe all that. So that's why I want to reach out to my lawyer friend and see if she knows for sure what the situation is before we engage with this group.
Cool. How do you reach out to Ismat? What's your line of communication with her?
I feel like
or they?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry,
yeah.
they.
No, yeah, it's they them. You're right. It's they them. I forgot that
I was thinking of Tasneem.
You're right. No, yeah. So yeah, for them, I think that I feel like Kora doesn't share their connection with the other group because Ismat is just their specific handler. So they probably go off, and I imagine pull up on some kind of interface, like an AR thing that only Kora can see, so that it's like just between the two of them. And when I imagine Kora utilizing the AR, like I feel like similarly, maybe her eyes change color. Maybe she has implants in her eyes and not specifically like totally fake like eyes, if that makes sense. Like they're not Holy Stone eyes, but she definitely has like implants. So her eyes change kind of like purple and kind of like starry galactic looking, and she can see the interface, but nobody else can see it. And this is how she contacts Ismat.
Yeah, and Ismat that is currently wearing they are currently wearing a like as when they pop up in your feed, they are wearing a kind of what looks like a gown at first, but then you realize it's not like a single piece. It's like a bunch of tiny holy stone that are like just hovering around their body in the way in the manner of a of a gown. And so,
Okay.
Kora, darling, what a pleasure to see you. I have some good news. You have moved up from the 90th percentile of most hated reviled people in the Empire to the 89th.
A whole percentile. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, I
love
am looking out for you.
percentiles. Thanks. Appreciate it. So I have a call from Counselor Swan. There's a new gig that they're sending us on. And I need to know what you're privy to as far as the Broken Lance.
Oh, them. I suppose are you planning some sort of spectacle, I suppose?
I don't know if it's necessarily a spectacle. I just know that we may be on their turf and they don't have the best reputation, but I don't know how much stock I can put into public personas considering my own situation.
Hmm. Give me a roll with consort here to see what kind of
Sure.
information you get.
I think that's just a one, right? For me?
Yeah.
Okay. 1d6. Let's see. Let's see. First roll of the session, guys. Let's see how this goes. And we got a 3. Wait, no, it's a 4. Sorry, I was looking at my last roll.
She nods and says, "Now, look, Kora, getting involved with I don't want to bring this up because I know what you will probably do when I tell you. I don't know exactly why they are being hunted, but I know that they are being hunted by Axiom Entertainment for whatever reason."
Oh, great. Great.
And Kora,
Okay, so
I am banning you from blowing anything up because of that information.
I'm not gonna blow anything up. I did it one time
Yes,
because
and that one time is one of your most shared videos.
listen, Leopold asked me to. That is not my fault. He said you can do the boom boom smash thing, and so I did the thing. They didn't say we had to be nonviolent there. They just said this time we have to be nonviolent. And so I'm going to abide by that. Do you know, wait, where are we going again? This is,
Port Prosperity.
do you know if Kandan or Dury are at Port Prosperity?
What was the question?
I said, do you know if Kandan or Dury are in the realm of Port Prosperity?
I don't know if I can answer who is there. I know Candon is, it's a priority to him. He is, it's going to be the way that he breaks in one of his new stars, bringing down the broken lances.
Okay. Exciting. All right. Well, thank you.
Remember,
Hopefully,
no explosions, and if you are inspired to do anything, it should be kissing some poor refugee children, giving them some candy or something. That will go over well.
you know what? There is a poor refugee child, and I took him shopping, and we had a great time, and I got rid of a lot of stress. So don't worry, I am handling my poor refugee children just fine.
Mhm. And yeah, to answer your question, Petrichor, you're not there to take down the broken lances. They were brought up as an asset or potentially a complication.
No,
The target is the builders.
well, at least from my perspective, we need to ally with them. But that's not everyone's perspective. But from my perspective, I'm going to push that we are going to help them because now I know something I probably shouldn't know. Oh, wow. That's tea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sharing that yet. I'm gonna keep that because I know that from my notes I need to have some conflicts. So I'm gonna keep that to myself and just file that away for later.
Great. Leopold, do you have it? Are you doing any information gathering prior to the mission?
I'm trying to think of what Leopold would be. Could you come back to me?
Sure. Eddie, any information gathering prior to the mission?
Yeah, I apologize. I had a little dispute happening in the room that I was in a minute ago. So, would you mind just briefly the primary objective of the mission? Like
The primary objective there is a humanitarian aid center being operated by the builders of the Divine Panoply in the refugee camp at Port Celia. Not Port Celia, Port Prosperity on Celia. They have some alien artifacts that the reliquary wants you to steal. And your direct superior also gave you the information that in Port Celia there may be agents of the Broken Lances who are a neutral faction but ex-Empire, who may be an asset, may be a complication in the mission.
Sure.
How it depends on how you're playing him.
Yeah, so I guess overall for all of us, I guess I see trying to find weak points in the infrastructure for our access point to get in and steal them quietly and make it back out without discovery, or to look for kind of additional information about the Broken Lances to see if kind of what their objective is and see if they're alliance. So I don't know if me kind of electronically searching for the cliched ventilation shaft, like whatever the physical weak points, or sentry schedules or something that might suggest a point of attack for the team, or kind of researching the Broken Lances to see what they're up to and if they'd be potential allies or obstacles. And I don't know if Chris or Victor, if you see any of those that you want to attack, well, I'll approach the others.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about like what my character is good at is sort of like looking at map, or like surveying the scene, looking at how plotting the route through through the port, through the city to the to the objective. So I'll take care of that, and you can do, but definitely yeah, I like you're hacking, you're in, you're
Guy in the chair.
Yeah, I mean, another way to think about it would be like, either Eddie would be looking for ways to, either subvert or map out the electronic defense systems of of the port, something like that.
Yeah, disable alarm systems or surveillance cameras,
Totally.
or
Yeah.
see, we will have
Or just
we'll have no
installing a
idea.
back door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of that stuff is going to be happen either via flashback or on the mission.
Makes sense.
Like
Yeah.
this is like if you want information, you can get some now.
Yeah.
Um, My
I
thought
think-
was like
yeah.
trying to look into in what ways are they doing refugee relief, the builders?
Hmm.
And like that might be more just like, so that's in the remnant of Celia, right?
Yeah, this is a refugee camp on the remnant of Celia where you're based out of.
Okay. I feel like this seems like more of a consort, which I feel like I meant to take instead of command, but I'm just gonna go with it. But I was gonna see if I could like liaison with people that I worked with as a like refugee colonist, not colonial. Those are different. Some sort of. So yeah, I was gonna go. I think maybe I still have contacts to the refugee colony that I like started, and I might try to reach out to someone and just like have them tell me what resources that the builders are bringing in.
Would you like an assist with that so you can have a die?
Sure. I was gonna try to pull on command and just be like
Yeah.
talk to someone I worked with previously where I
Yeah,
ran the
sure.
colony and just be like, tell me what's going on.
Okay.
Who is this person?
This person is, let's see, I have a whole actually I just created a bunch of AI images. Maybe I can use one of them. I don't know. I don't know if I like doing that, but
I mean, we're not monetizing it.
Mhm.
It's a gray area.
yeah. I don't know why these ones are like basically naked.
All right, well, that's on you and whatever code, whatever, next time give prompts for clothes too.
Oh yeah, I guess I have to add.
Yeah,
I have to tell
leave out
clothes.
the sexy maybe.
So this person is I just typed in my own name.
Yeah. For Kandan, I think I
Mhm.
use dress like Fiero from Wicked, which is how I got a golden green suit.
Their name is Avenance. That's why I'm in the wrong one. Pinterest. Avenance, they are a her previous like administrator of the colony, and they've taken over after I've left. And so I'm just contacted them and asking. I basically go to my what do we call it? I guess I don't know if we have like a terminal or what, or if there's just kind of like as an AR thing, we can kind of just like ping people. How are we saying this works?
We've established basically fictionally with Kora. I think you can ping people. I'd say probably at base because you have all of your transmitting equipment. I'd say probably on a mission it would be more difficult to like ping people at a distance.
Yeah, so I think my thing would probably be more along the lines of both like literally sending like a message, but then also kind of like having a emotional like kind of just like I'm contacting you kind of urge in them. Um this is the one I'm gonna use. I'm gonna save. Can I save this image? I'm gonna post it in the chat. So yeah, I send them a message and then just be like, contact me. And they're on like the refugee area that's nearby. And so my goal, I guess like goal is to just be like, Avenants, I'm doing some work back in Cilia, and I need to know what resources the builders are bringing to the refugee camp. Do we know what's the name of it specifically?
Port. I'll just type it in as well. Port Prosperity.
In Fort Prosperity. There we go. Avenants. And I'll add it to our thing. This is of utmost discretion, and I hope you realize that in effect, these resources are ours. And my goal is to try to do command, but I'll do something else but I'll take assistance if you want, Kora. Because I would tell you my plan.
Yeah, sure. I guess maybe the way that this looks like is that maybe you're not as familiar with our communications here since you're like a newer member of the team. And so I'm helping you patch through and like probably giving you some pointers on what you could probably say to convince them.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm an envoy, I mean, might as well just coach you through it.
Okay, and this isn't a downtime action, so this is gonna cost a stress.
Okay.
For me, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take all the stress. It gives me more reason to cut loose later because I want to cut loose with Eddie in the next downtime. So
Okay, so what am I rolling?
You're gonna be rolling command plus 1 die.
Command plus 1 die. Okay. Petrichor, close. And then I'm doing 1, 2. 6.
Yeah. So your question was, what supplies are they bringing in? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that with a 6, the message you get back is courteous. I think there's definitely like a sense of like you like left and now like the first is this the first message you've sent to Avenant since leaving?
It is not. I've been kind of, I feel like doing some like, it's like the I quit, but I really didn't quit ever thing where I kind of still have my hand in like assisting if I can, or even if it's just like not doing the running and the administration,
Okay,
it's like using my clout to try and call in favors for them in other places.
cool. Yeah,
And basically my goal for this is to try to be like, come in on one of these like resource shipments as a way of us getting in kind of closer to the system.
cool.
So then we can get in through the vent.
Yeah, in that case, I think that the messages you get involve that yeah, of course she's worked with the builders before. They're one of the main humanitarian organizations working within the war. Besides, they do have a military, they're not like neutral, they do have military affiliation, and part of their work is setting up lines of supply lines for the faithful. But they are from their churches, they provide uh uh food and as well as medicine, doctor services to refugees. I think with that 6, she specifically brings up that she's worked with the current head of the Port Prosperity branch of the builders before, Brother Causeway. He is someone that she trusts as to prioritize like the lives of people under his care, at least. No, I have it already there. I'll type it in. It's Causeway. Causeway, I guess. So generally the impression you get is that they get regular supplies of food and medicine that is shipped in from Imperial space.
Okay.
And also, of course, the personal details about Brother Causeway.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna use this information. It's also good for us, and we're trying to like kind of in a PR way a little bit, like not screw with the civilians as much.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have to like make sure that we don't screw up that portion of the what's going on too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like a good way for us to try to get in would be kind of the Conway system, maybe. Or convoy.
Convoy system. Okay.
Yeah. Where we're like either we bring our own or we kind of like hijack a shipment coming in.
I'm
Might be
always
risky.
down for a hijack. Let's go.
And we're just stealing the tech from this the builders, right?
Yeah, they just want you to steal stuff. Like this is not a sabotage mission.
Sabotage.
Or is it the like the builders that have this tech, or is it just at the fort?
It is at the builders have it. It is at their outpost, a church they maintain, a church they maintain in the refugee camp.
Okay, cool.
Eddie, do you have any thoughts about do you have anything you want to gather information about?
Yeah, I mean the line between prep now versus flashbacks and stuff in the mission. If
Or
we're
anyone you want to also like reach out to if you want, like think anyone might help you.
that I was kind of thinking more kind of on the electronic countermeasures or the cameras or whatever side in terms of reaching out for help ahead of time. Yeah, I have both. Obviously I'm strongest with hacking or like sway, and I could like if there's a good contact for me to try to nudge for more information. I don't know if anybody has thoughts about who I could try to I learn more on that electronic countermeasure side before we go in. I'm happy to do that. I was thinking more on the physical infrastructure side, but
Well, is there, I mean, I know you are more analog, but our crew, or our squad, excuse me, has access to, AR ghosts. So is there an AR ghost that breaks through your, that you interact with, that you send out there, that a ghost you've
It's
picked up on the
Casper.
battlefield?
yeah, like, I should say like the mechs mechanics are analog, but I certainly a bunch of my powers relate to AR and everything, so I'll need to have some weird blend of which I picture it as, yeah, just kind of kludging together solutions and maybe being very suspicious of the potential for counterintelligence using kind of electronic, but also like engaging in it, but then severing all, like maybe I live in I have a copper wire mesh that I sleep inside
And a
him.
million kill switches for everything. Everything
Exactly.
can be just killed in an instant.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
so
physical. Like,
I'm hearing
Mhm.
then that you are looking for any AR like footprint that you might tap into or something like that.
yeah, I mean, and I love Victor's suggestion about, I guess I'm thinking almost like a familiar that, like maybe so some sort of AR construct that I'm sending to do some information gathering, or maybe that I reach out to see if there's anything like that there that I could try to sway to help us out. I'm
Okay,
a little bit loose here, but
sure.
I'm new with AR and kind of what the parameters are and how it looks in our universe. So.
Yeah, give me this is I mean it's probably an interface, right?
Yeah, sure. So just a straight two dice roll.
Yeah.
Sure. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 4 and a 4.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So with that 4, there are a couple pieces of information you can get. The base is entirely run off of is run, of course, by the builders. The AR network that maintains surveillance and all of that is Exiom Entertainment. They control the drones, the surveillance, everything like that. But there's one other odd piece of information that kind of, as you are sending off this AR ghost, sort of is what I'm hearing. What does that ghost look like?
Yeah, I guess I'm my thought is to kind of emphasize the alienness of it. Some kind of not. Yeah, I guess I'm always like with technology. I'm interested in things that are less easily understandable, less familiar, more off-putting, and just clear in their non-humanness. So yeah, maybe or it could kind of. I guess I'm trying to think of like I'm trying to remember what parts of this are from the book and what parts are part of our universe, but almost like a daemon, but I'm picturing like maybe actually angelic or demonic that
Mhm.
Oh, like
what
a biblically correct angel,
yeah, yeah, or well, I guess that I'm picturing like maybe something sort of like a depiction of maybe not biblically correct, but like a depiction of an angel, but like otherworldly and but this is kind of for everybody. What do we want this to look like? We haven't really seen AR in this setting yet, so
I mean, you're also kind of the AR guy in the group, so I'd like
Yeah.
defer to you as for answers for this.
Yeah, you tell us.
Yep.
What is in your mind?
well, um, it looks just like Cartman from South Park. Sorry, guys.
Oh no!
I get to
Oh,
decide.
no!
You said I get to decide. That's
I
what
mean,
I'm.
you get to
To
decide
be fair,
yours.
it's Cartman, but he's like a cherub.
So
Oh,
honestly,
Cherub is a cool. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. No. If you
Yeah,
yeah,
Cherub is a cool idea to like and kind of. Yeah, I just picture this threatening and kind of spyish and everything, but it looks completely innocent. And then I guess I think of the like Roger Rabbit, like maybe it has this like really deep voice and it's very sarcastic, but it just looks like the sweetest little angelic
Oh,
baby.
absolutely. Yes,
I
that.
love the
Mhm,
contradiction.
mhm.
Right. So it zooms around. You get that first bit of information. Then it notices something else strange. There is another signature of a dormant AR network within the facility. And when it draws in closer and closer, I'm not doing the voice, Leopold. There is a flicker. And just vents blaring over your system. There is just rejoice, rejoice, for for they are resurrected today. Rejoice. And then it just goes silent.
But in the voice of Danny DeVito.
Rejoice,
Rejoice.
Oh, I mean, is that the name of the AR cherub, DeVito?
I mean, sure. It's your AR ghost. Is that what you want?
Oh, I'm trying to think of some combination between like the classic angel names, like clearly I don't know, Aramaic. I mean,
it's D'Angelo,
I'll think on that.
Help.
And an AR cigar. Anyway,
I mean, I'm just gonna say the name of this particular one is not as important because they are gone.
Fair enough.
That is
a
useful bit of information that you have gotten here. There is some sort of dormant AR network in this facility. You don't know who made it, but when your thing got close, they just started sending off this gibberish and then went silent.
They are risen?
Yep.
Wow.
Cool.
They are risen.
Whatever the hell that means.
You just gotta rejoice. It's good times for everyone.
Good luck with that. I'm out of here.
See, other people can do impersonations. I'm very bad at them, so go ahead.
Yeah, no,
I'm bad at them, but doing them regardless.
It was just that Eddie brought that level of specificity. I had to at least make the pitch, but I had no expectation of that.
You asked for it, and I delivered it. Okay?
Thank you.
There you go.
And now you'll all question what arrows you're putting in my quiver. Like, oh god, now he's gonna do that voice. Oh my god.
Okay, Leopold, are you doing anything?
Yeah. So after all this, after all the different vectors for for data to have been collected, Leopold is poring over maps and satellite images, security cam footage, whatever has been provided from the other folks' work. Leopold is trying to do some analysis to chart or to look for those possible routes or weaknesses, blind alleys that we can just grab them, pull them into, grab what we need to get out of there.
Okay, so you're poring over like maps of the port?
Yes, yeah.
Sure. This sounds like a study, maybe?
I was thinking more of a survey, but
I guess survey. Because survey is when you observe your surroundings and predict outcomes. Study is when you meticulously examine details.
Okay, so
for better
no, you're
understanding.
right. So yeah,
you could make an argument for hunt, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the description of hunt to see, but that's.
Can I help with this too?
Sure. You just if you mark a stress.
And it's basically like I'm good at doing this too.
And you guys already studied maps together in your downtime, so you guys already
we're
have
just
that
map
established.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
We're just map friends.
Yeah, we're just a couple of map nerds having fun.
Couple of nav buddies.
Yeah.
It's cute.
We have
Like,
I have a joke and I'm
survey can
like,
work,
remember
though,
when
action-
you misread this key or whatever? Wasn't that so funny?
Yeah, survey could work. It will produce a different kind of information is all.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. All right.
Map buddies.
Oh, I didn't add. Sorry, let me add one more for.
Actually, I can wait. I don't know if this is.
Yeah,
is
let's
this an
just
action
wait.
roll?
I've got a 5. So.
Well, 4.
Oh, 4. Sorry, a 4. Yeah. That's fine. I'll take a 4. Yeah, save your stress for now.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
But you can still be there. We can still be map buddies.
What I was gonna say is because I have my carry that weight, so I could decide to assist or not.
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's true.
Yeah, I'd say save that for a better, more dangerous situation, right?
Okay.
But appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get a 4. I think with that survey, what you generally get is that the like Port Prosperity used to be a major city on the planet. That was, of course, before the planet kind of got broken apart. Now it is mostly abandoned except for the refugee camp that's there. And most of the surroundings in the most of the surrounding cityscape is mostly abandoned buildings. So like you're able to like focus in on a few major uh uh you're able to focus in on a few major what's the word I'm looking for,
Landmarks?
sites you might set up out of. Whether or not those sites have existing people in them, because you're just looking over maps, you can't know, because officially they're abandoned, but of course this is a war zone refugee camp.
Great.
No, I think carry that weight is just, you can do it just like, that's just an extra option you have.
That's what I was thinking, because
Oh,
that's their
sorry about
special
that. Okay.
ability, and unless
Yeah.
something says that you can only use
Yeah.
a special ability once per session, then they should
I
be able
thought
to
that Victor just meant save the stress for
Oh
later.
yeah, no, I was like, because also wasn't in the last match, so I don't mind using stress. Plus, then I can cut loose, or I
take
can take
all
a
of this stress,
star.
Petrichor. Please, I did it.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna use it.
So mechanically, what's changing then? But yeah, okay,
roll
great
one
and
more
great.
die.
Okay, one more die. Well, let's see what happens. All right, thank you,
It's-
Petrichor.
Was it life changing?
It was
Yeah,
actually.
you get a 6. So
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
able
There we
to
go.
identify a building that is like, you're able to match it up with some satellite surveillance. There is an old warehouse that would be large enough to hide any mechs you might want to bring along with you. And is definitely not being used by any refugees with that 6.
Nice. How does Petrichor figure that out, given the muddy data that Leopold brought them?
I think it might be part of the empath AR situation where like I might have a different approach or different way of interfacing with the AR where I'm like, oh no, this data is meaningless. Like I imagine it as like tons and tons and tons of like threads just going out into the universe. And I can kind of see that like some of the information is not going anywhere that's like relevant.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, with that, I'm wondering, let's get into planning for this mission. I'm curious, what are what is the general plan that people want to go with? I know I heard a couple different pitches for what to do here. So let's I know Petrichor, you had one. I know Kora, you kind of were thinking about allying with the broken lances, but I'm curious.
I mean, Petrichor, you were pitching a hijack, right?
Basically trying to like, and maybe this doesn't go all the way get into like the vicinity by coming in with some shipments. Does that make sense?
Sure.
But
it's trying to hijack and then use the vehicle to sneak in and use the convoy to sneak yourselves in.
yeah. But I don't know what everyone else feels about that, or if we have like maybe something a little bit more locale.
I mean, that's in line with, that is a sneaky way of doing it. We are recon, we are, we sneak in, so I'm cool with that. The question is, can we somehow enlist the broken lances so that both of the pitches can be dovetailed?
I feel like that makes sense.
And our
To be
reputation is
fair,
scrappy,
I
so,
have not pitched this to the party yet.
Okay, all
I'm
right,
keeping that to myself.
then unless so, Kora, this is your opportunity, and if you want to sit on it, that's cool too. Let's go with Petrichor's thing.
I'm
And
gonna go
like
with
planning,
Petrichor's theme.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm planning like this doesn't need to occur in character. Like we can discuss like what you want to do, and we'll think about how that looks in character after.
For me, I want her to keep this to herself and have it be a conflict that happens during the mission, that maybe we're going a certain direction and she wants to break course and somehow help the Broken Lances. So that's how I'm looking at it out of character.
Sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, if that's what we're going with, let's do an engagement roll and then we will take a break. Also, and of course, if you have any load in your equipment, feel like let's go in. What load are you going with for this mission for each of you?
I'm gonna take medium again.
Yeah. And I should note any like selections for your mech. Your mech always stays the same unless you modify it between missions, but clear any personal equipment that you have marked.
Got it.
Does it?
This is
Where does it denote how much load, or is it just like if it's 2 ticks, it's 2 load?
Yeah, if it's 2 ticks, it's 2 load.
Okay. I mean, let's see.
this is like I'd marked 2 armor on our last mission. I guess, is that unusable now, or do I need to clear that somehow?
Your armor also clears. Like everything refreshes.
I mean, because this is on my
For
mech,
your-
not my personal armor.
For your
Well, yeah.
pilot gear, vehicle gear, you have to like
Your vehicle
actually
gear
spend
stays the
material.
same. Like
Mhm.
unless it's damaged, like any uses of it refresh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like if your armor was
Um,
actually, like I said, oh, your armor got wrecked during the mission, you'd have to spend downtime repairing it.
I feel like I'm gonna go in light. Because we're not trying to like, I don't know.
Yeah, however, so I hear light for Petrichor. I saw
I'll go for it. I'll see.
Was medium.
Yeah,
What about Kora?
I'm taking medium again. I'm taking my fine subterfuge supplies, my fine espionage gear. I'm taking burglary gear.
Yeah,
I'm
remember you
taking
don't need to
long-range
mark any of that
transmitter.
until you need it on the mission.
True, but I want all of it. I don't know. I'm gonna find a way to use some of this stuff because I haven't. Some of this stuff is envoy specific.
Oh yeah,
you'll
you'll need some of it because this is a tier 2 squad.
So I might leave it marked, and if I change my mind on something, I might switch it. But I'm just gonna mark it so I don't forget that I want to use those things.
Just use it as a shopping list.
Yeah.
Do we need to mark our pilot and vehicle gear load, or just...
No, because your vehicle stays the same.
Oh,
the
got
vehicle
it. Okay.
The vehicle is like,
it is a medium mech. So...
yeah, a medium mech is like a different size than a light mech.
Yeah. We don't change that on their way out the door. You know what? I'm going to make this an Atlas. No, and it's going to be a Locust. Oh yeah, got it. I'm just going in medium because I'm indecisive, personally.
I think medium's
artistic
always a
goals.
safe choice, right? Because then you have options, but you're not like heavy and you're not narrowing yourself down to light. I feel like medium's always a good choice.
For people who know me, that's actually my nickname, Safe Choice. So
Uh,
I thought it was medium.
okay.
and I cannot communicate with the dead, so I'll let you draw your own conclusion.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do an engagement roll. So first off, you get 1 dice for plain old luck. Is this mission bold?
I'd say a hijack is pretty
Yeah.
bold.
It doesn't seem especially complex. Does this mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities? You spent some time researching this stuff, so I'd say yes. Let's see.
Does Kora's personal agenda make the mission any more complex?
No, because like
Okay.
you could have enlisted some outside help, which might have gotten you another die, but you didn't.
Fair. Okay.
However, there are some other there is someone interfering with this mission, which is Axiom. So you're down to 2 dice.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Love that for me.
Petrichor, this is your idea. You're gonna have to roll. See,
Okay.
it's on you. It's on you.
We
2
get 2 die though?
Yep.
No
Oh, wow,
pressure,
okay.
just don't mess it up.
Oh, actually, hang on. Is there one for are they a
Is
tier
there-
above you?
They're like 4 tiers above us, right?
Just 2.
Okay. So take
But
away one.
we just need one.
Oh yeah, differences in squad tier. So you're down to 1 die. I forgot about that.
Oh.
And that makes us cry, and that's why they got named Tears.
Yep.
Yes. And then what's the last thing that gets us another die?
So you got that's it. You got 1 for plain old luck, 1 for the mission being bold, 1 for exploiting a target's vulnerability, but then there is Axiom interfering, and they're a higher tier than you.
I got it too.
It's not a critical failure. Good work.
We love
It's
a
not a
critical
critical
failure.
It could have been worse.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest, we got a 2 because it is going to be complicated. Because Kora has her own agenda. It is going to be complicated.
Let's see. What is my thing with Kora? I don't trust them at all. They have
Mhm.
ambiguous values and I do not trust them.
Yep. And we're going to have conflict because I predicted when I pulled my cards that we were going to have a conflict. So it'll be interesting.
I'm going to pull some cards for you.
I'll open here on the shot of Port Prosperity. You know, this was once not one of the biggest cities, but it was definitely a prosperous city, hence its name. But the reaving. Yeah, the reaving of Celia shattered it. I'm wondering, oh, cool. Awesome. Good to have you back. We were just doing some scene setting. Are you cool with starting up? Cool. As we kind of set, yeah, Petrichor, how did what sign of like the cataclysmic destruction that was inflicted on this city is still apparent as we get a shot of it?
On the city?
Yeah.
I think part of it is that most of the southeast quadrant is like obliterated, and there's like this just like huge like amethyst colored spike coming up through the ground, and like you can see that it's pierced the wall of the city, and then is just like straight into the sky. And then you can also see, like, if you look down the horizon, that there's like kind of like a crest of this like crystal rending the ground in two, and like at points you can see there's canyons and chasms in the distance, or even higher points. So it's like as if like some seed was planted in the core of is this a planet or like an asteroid?
It was a planet.
Okay. Was a planet. So like
It's
that's the
chunks
thing,
now.
and then what?
It's chunks now.
Okay, and then so damn, that's not great. I guess also like far, far, far in the distance too, like on the horizon, you can see like the like kind of space station implants on the remaining part of the planet. It's like very almost Star Wars-esque where like, yeah, this is I guess still a thing people live on. But um and like this refugee place is here because like it is like the only large city left. So people flocked here.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And as we zoom in then to this situation, I'm wondering, Leopold, you were the one that scouted out this warehouse site. What how exactly are you how exactly have you set the crew up for this ambush?
Good question. So I guess what I've done is on their AR displays, I've highlighted like areas of interest, potential places like natural natural outcroppings that they could hide their specific mechs. Like, you should go here, you should go here, you should go here, and if you need to fall back, go there, and there, like so given a couple of options, and yet despite the options, something happened.
I imagine it's like, oh, this um shipment is more militarily I don't like, it sucks. I mean, this is kind of the thing that also I'm playing with my character where they're like, yeah, they do have to kill people, maybe. It's more militarily what is it called when you like protect something?
Uh
Secured, I
Secured.
guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, than we expected.
Yeah.
And like part of that's probably like Petrichor being like, oh, back when we were doing this, this was not this intense. It was like literally like local security forces rather than like, oh no, this is actually like temple military.
Uh yeah. Because the thing about this particular shipment, as you are just about to uh launch your attack, is there is a roar of rocket fire, and that warehouse you're staked out in, it is bursting up into flames around you. And over the speakers you can hear a voice you don't recognize, but it is saying, wanted Empire defector Kora Farah. I am here to end your reign of terror against the fine people of the Empire. In the name of my sponsors with Axiom Core. And I think, Kora, your feed is blowing up.
Yay!
I'm gonna. So here's a thing. That when your rivals show up, rivals are extra dangerous. They get rival
Ooh.
moves equal to the number of pilots in play
Come on, Spice Boys.
that they get to use to just do stuff.
Yes.
Like So could you take the level 2 harm infamous, Kora?
I'll take it. Thank you.
Unless you want to resist that.
I mean, I could resist because technically I do have my chaff countermeasure that I could have employed to maybe not appear on their sensors. As of
I
yet,
don't think
anyway.
that's what chaff countermeasures are.
Yeah,
But-
chaff
Well-
countermeasures are like for they fire off little particles so that like rockets
Missiles.
like hit them.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Let's see then. I'll just take the harm. I'll take it. What, level 2 harm?
Yep,
Oh, well, then that's -1 dice.
exactly.
How does
Yeah.
defending work? Again?
You can resist it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I can resist it.
How does
I mean,
defense
if you're
work
in your
again
if you're
this?
in your mech, it's resisting would be a calling on
This
a
is like a
quirk, right?
personal thing though. Like you could
Oh, okay.
use your mech maybe, but this is like it is a personal attack on Kora that is
Yeah.
happening.
I see.
here.
Okay, yeah, I was just okay. Yeah,
It is a
Let's
social
go.
that
thing.
Can I
totally makes
resist it with some sway and just be like, hey, like, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, is it really that deep?
Is this like, are you actually broadcasting this at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Awesome. Give me a roll. This sounds like with resolve.
Yeah, yeah. So that's 2, right? Because I have 2 in resolve.
Yeah.
Okay. Party. You got a 2.
You rolled a 2.
Sure did.
So that means you take 4 stress.
I'll take 4 stress. Give me more stress.
And your infamous is reduced to bad name.
Notorious.
I'll put
You've got a
rep.
bad name.
But level 1.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll just
So-
put bad rep for now.
And so I should note there is a big old mech that has just come swinging oh no, because if you might have seen this approach, but it is a medium-sized mech, but it is sort of, you know how contortionists have a sort of human slinky routine where they kind of bend
Yeah.
over backwards into a handstand and then like continue bending over to keep doing it. Like it is a mech that is moving like that. Each of the arms
Ooh,
is
I love that.
mounted with a missile artillery system, and
Get him.
you can tell this is the pilot that is being groomed by Candon Kora. They are Candon's representative here as a
Love that.
rival.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they show up, that convoy is booting out of there. There is a 4-tick clock I'm starting here on the I'm using the long-term projects here in our recon. I'll start up its own thing in a little bit, but it's a 4-tick clock. The convoy is booting out of there unless someone pursues it and brings it in. So what are each of you doing?
I'm gonna sit back and let everybody else react because obviously I'm distracted.
Yeah.
I can try to like do an electronic attack to like disable their propulsion or something to keep them from fleeing effectively.
Sure. What kind of propulsion do these vehicles use? We haven't really specified.
Yeah, I
Are
guess
these like traditional like wheel vehicles, or are they like hovercrafts?
I guess
Hover,
yeah, it could be
based
like
on the terrain.
Yeah, it could be like the Matrix, kind of like the whatever magnetic,
Ooh.
like floating above the.
Sure. Sure, go ahead. This is desperate. Things are like as you're like trying to disable them and slow them down. This is a desperate position. Are you like doing this from inside your mech? Are you still on foot? I should also note that the building you're in is on fire.
Yeah, I'm picturing in my mech.
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable hacking from either. So on mission, I'm in the mech unless
Yeah.
I.
And you have a laptop, so you can easily do it within your mech.
Yeah, and you say desperate, and I hear cheap experience. So yeah, thank you. I will.
It's cheap experience if you roll well.
I mean, I think if I roll at all, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's costly experience if you roll poorly.
Oh, tracking. I mean, but it's that'll be paid later. Maybe not much later, but certainly.
Okay.
I guess at desperate. I hate to beg for. Please, may I have some assistance? But if anybody could assist, then I at a desperate roll. I don't want to make the mission go pear-shaped just as it's getting started.
I was gonna assist after you rolled, but I feel like we're probably gonna want to anyway, and I feel like I just want to anyway.
Go for it.
Just in the not to metagame too
So
much,
yeah,
but like
I'd say it seems like you're using interface. Are you using your because you have like a fine coding program? Are you using that in your hack rig?
yeah, yep, that seems like a solid. So would that drop it from desperate, or does that add to?
That means that you get limited effect as opposed to no effect
Oh,
because you're a tier 0 squad.
oh.
What?
We are gnats trying to take down a Goliath or something like. Okay, so
You could
limited
push
effect.
yourself for standard effect here.
Can I both get assistance and push myself?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I had better because especially on desperate. It's okay. So let's see. Mark my stress for pushing myself. So it'll be desperate standard. Yeah, I guess in two dice plus one from Petrichor.
Yeah,
So
I'm
dice.
gonna my assistance is very I'm going to fly out of the building and cut them off.
Give me a little more time
Cool.
to get my hacksaw going.
So you get 3 dice. You push yourself for. Would you like a collateral die?
I'd love to hear a collateral bargain.
Yeah. I think again, it's a matter of we again flash back to your handler. She has given you a phony version of the artifact to turn over to the reliquary. She wants you to deliver the actual artifact to her. Is the collateral die I'm offering you now in flashback.
Yeah, I love this juicy situation. I feel conflicted as a player, like how much I want to be this just thorn in the side of the entire party, fucking everybody in the like. I'm just like, I don't.
I mean,
it's a collateral die. You can always say no.
Yeah. I just how much I want to lean into the story of Eddie in the background sabotaging his own party.
We'll tell you if it becomes a problem.
I mean,
yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna say that if you lean into your background, you also mark more XP at the end of the session.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, like obviously, as a outside as a enjoyer of the fiction, it's the juicier, more interesting fiction. I'm
Yeah,
I'm mostly-
complication isn't spiteful unless you are actively like hearing that that Petrichor wants to do this. I am going to undermine it in this way, which, you know, again, isn't completely off the table. If that's the only way that you're complicating things, then it's a problem. I don't think that general complications make it a problem.
I guess it seems like maybe a really big because it's like sabotaging the entire mission, right? Like everything that happens in this entire mission, all the stress, all that, it'll all be undone by.
Only if they find out about the fact that you were the one that made this switch.
But there's
but I mean,
also the fact that you don't have to make the switch. It's just that
Yep.
this is the
Oh, I have
collateral.
it. I have it. I have the objective. Not that I'm doing it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
You know what has to deal with that? Future Eddie. Fuck that guy.
exactly.
What future
Exactly.
ever-
That's what I'm saying.
What has future Eddie
You can
ever done for me?
decide what to do with it later. Let him be conflicted about it now and figure it out later.
Mhm.
Future Eddie always wanting me eat good, stop drinking, whatever. What have you ever done for me, future Eddie?
Okay. Give me
so
3d6 or 46
46,
now
sweet.
with standard effect. Disparate standard.
One more die. There we go. Achoo. 5.
Yeah, 5.
Good
So with standard desperate let me see here. I think that I don't think any of these make sense. So I think that I'm gonna say that there is like you bring them to a yeah, I'll say like you have sorry, I'm just looking at these here. I think that you succeed here with limited effect. Like they are slowed, but they are not fully stopped by your interference. Like there is definitely creating opportunity here for other people to get involved and further and like take control. But I'm also going to mark off 2 ticks on the convoy escapes clock.
Fair.
Okay. So mark off as in we stop them from escaping, or they are better at escaping.
They're going to escape when I fill the clock.
Okay.
So you need to take control of the convoy. So there are 2 out of 4 ticks. I have it there in the recon tab under the long-term projects.
Got it.
Well, I've got a flashback. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got a flashback suggestion if Petrichor, if you don't have an idea. So for
I
yourself.
have an idea, but I want to hear what your suggestion is.
Well, I mean, I'm an infiltrator, so, you know, it would make sense that we would want a man on the inside or a person on the inside, right? So a flashback to Leopold, you know, infiltrating, you know, earlier, you know, and yeah, you know, we see Leopold take off his helmet and reveal that one of the driver, or not one of the drivers, one of the people on the you know, on the convoy is Leopold. Was my pitch. So my mech isn't there.
Sure. Do you want to do you have that as a flashback?
I mean, unless it undermines Petrichor, what you were thinking about.
I feel like that assists what I was thinking about.
Cool, perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a pretty big intervention.
Definitely.
I'll say, but you are the infiltrator. I'll just say 1 stress.
Okay. I'd take
if you were like someone other than the infiltrator, I might say 2 stress.
All right, I understand. Cool. There is a role for the fictional positioning, right? So
no, only if I ask for one.
Okay, cool.
This is like you are paying the stress to have the positioning now.
Okay. Great. Then yeah, you know,
Yeah,
guess, we
you
get,
feel the vehicle, you feel the convoy slow as are you like I assume like maybe you're part of the crew that is driving the main like transport vehicle.
mhm.
Yeah, you feel it slow because of Eddie's intervention. Like the driver is like trying to do various countermeasures, trying to figure out why they're slowing down. What do you do?
Um, how outnumbered am I?
I'd say it's just you and the driver in here. There of course
Uh,
there is two smaller mechs transport like accompanying it, but they are not on the transport.
okay, so yeah, so what we see is, the driver is, frantically trying to, right the situation, is yelling at Leopold to do his, what is supposed to be his job. And, as he's frantically working, that's where on camera or into the frame comes Leopold's silenced pistol as pressed against the helmet of the driver. Um, and Leopold says, look, just make this easy. You don't need to die here. All you gotta do is follow my instructions.
I do love that you decided to take a social course of action considering
Yeah, I just realized that, but fuck it, we're doing this. This is really what I'm doing is generous so that I can make sure that Petrichor has the opportunity to see their part of the plan through.
yeah, with your positioning, I'd actually probably say this is controlled standard here because you are not like out there where the fighting is happening or the bombing. You are in this and you have the gun here, so you have 0 dice right now.
Yeah, so I'm
Petrichor,
definitely going to push myself.
I know that you are going to intercept the vehicle. Are you providing any help here?
Um, I don't know how this would work or if this would become a group action because my thing was going to be basically um using my fine broadcast system and inspiring appearance just kind of make a like almost like feudal claim like because although like the um the like ducal like whatever has been taken, like I think there's still some like legal and like just like traditional like inheritance and like authority that comes with being like one of the nobles of the empire. Um and like I think we never actually discussed because I did my long-term project to find my family, and part of that was like confirming who was dead or not, and it confirmed that their parents were indeed dead. So it was like, okay,
Did we confirm that?
we didn't discuss it. I mean, we can decide if that was what we got
There
from
was
it or not.
one. There was one tick on the clock.
Yeah,
You
there's
still
only
have,
one
I
tick on
think,
the clock.
three.
Well,
So
I was
there
going to
was.
say that the clock is to find someone.
Right, okay.
So
Sure.
like my effect for that role, and like we can
Sure,
decide how much we
that's
know or
fine.
not.
That's fine for me.
And I feel like it's pretty like they were very sure that their parents were dead, but they're like, nope, for sure, gone. um, and so they're just like claiming, and they also like had this colony here. So it's like, no, I'm still like um I'm calling it a chancellor, even though they don't have because they don't have the estate, but like they have the authority to rule an area, and this is disputed. But like with the builders and stuff here, they're like there's this weird thing where it's like, okay, this is technically under empire purview. Um, so like I'm making that claim where I'm just going to be like, all right, like as chancellor of Umbra and um local colonial authority, put down your swords, do not use this humanitarian benefit as a weapon in the war. That is not what this faith is about. As Chancellor of Umbra, I command you to turn the convoy over to us. And so
Okay.
like I pop out.
All right, so
I've
then
got
maybe we
like
should.
my.
Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say maybe we should flip. Yeah, so maybe we should
So
flip
yeah, what
this,
it
and I'm a
sounds like
set
then is
action to
Petrichor
you.
is taking the action and Leopold is providing aid here.
Yes, that sounds. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not you are
I
going
think
to
that
receive a
with those
message. You
with
will
that
listen to it.
equipment, and with that equipment, I think it's gonna be I think it's desperate standard because there's still this big fucking mech that is here on hand that's gonna like these guys might be swayed. That big fucking mech is not with them.
So my goal is to increase my effect because I'm using a fine broadcast system. I'm also checking my vehicle's inspiring appearance because it is like one of the Holy Forge. So I'm very much like, no, I'm legit. This isn't like just some asshole fucking around. I'm using my title. Um and I'm willing to take the desperate fact because like yeah, I'm making like a social sway, but then this mech might just like fucking blow me apart, you know?
Sure, we can go with desperate great. I think that
Okay.
like the most you're going to get here is that the church people will still surrender because this big mech is not like it's not they're not he's not working for that they're not working for them, they're
Yeah.
working for Axiom.
Which is my goal too, because
Yeah.
like I don't want to harm the church because they're doing a good thing, you know?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, give me this
I'm trying to
desperate
demilitarize the convoy,
yeah,
basically.
give me a desperate great here, and I think Leopold mark 1 stress to give an extra die here.
Okay, so I'm gonna do
Nope.
2 die. Where's my thing at? I lost my roller. 2 die, desperate great. Nice. 6.
Awesome. So you got a full hit here. I think that the guy Leopold driving the uh uh transport uh gives a sign of like look man, I just drive these things. Look, I don't I'm not in this to take a bullet. And I think that outside you can hear that blaring over. And I think that there's this like uncertainty. The mechs are like aiming on you for a moment, Petrichor, but then their weapons stand down.
I think what I do is I like move slightly and like I don't know what kind of weapons are they like holding them or are they just part of the equipment?
Uh the mechs are both holding blades. I think that they both drop the blades onto the ground.
Mm-hmm. Um I don't know what to do with them from now, but um I think maybe like tell them like to go back where they came from, basically. Where like we'll get like they'll like report back, but by that time we hopefully are out of here.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I do think though, as you've been making a big side of yourself, Petrichor, as you are doing this and they are standing down, one of those rockets just crushes into you. And could you take level 2 harm, ablaze?
Ablaze, wow. I think I want to
Resist
use
it!
Because and you
resist
hear
it.
over the you hear in an even bigger speaker booming out. It figures that Kora would be associating with uh uh false idols and pretend kings.
Oh,
Yeah, you can resist it.
Did-
You can mark armor, or you could if you have that if you want to add that to your mech, or you
Mhm.
could
add the
mark
armor.
off quirks to reduce that harm as well.
I think I'm gonna reduce it and mark off crystalline shell. Well, does armor just reduces it too, right?
Yeah, armor just reduces it too. That's true. And I should note that like with let's see, you'd have to mark off 2 quirks here if you
Okay.
use quirks.
I'm going to first of all claim armor.
Okay.
Because there's no reason not to, basically. So that's reduced to a level 1 damage.
Yeah, that singed.
Singed. Okay, and then I'm going to um check crystalline shell, where it's like, yeah, you can't set me on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna burn crystalline shell. Does that reduce it
You need
completely or
two quirks because
okay, so
the way that resisting mech damage works is you have it's 4 quirk. It takes 4 quirks to resist each to resist in your mech minus the resistance you have in that stat, which is expertise here.
okay, cool. Yeah, then I'll just do crystalline shell and let's see, esoteric tech. And basically the thing is just kind of like, oh, it just like doesn't catch fire, and then the amount of like percussive damage doesn't really influence the affection of the mech, but like now it's a little bit banged up.
Yeah, I think if we see like that shell like that shielding, like the fire clears and you're still standing there. And Kora, what are you doing?
I want to patch through to Eddie and ask him if he can find a way to connect us with the Broken Lance.
Of course, others being smashed with missiles. I open
You could
communication.
also have do a flashback where you have made contact with them already.
I mean, yeah, I could do that too. Yeah, because I was keeping that a secret, and maybe I was a sneaky person, and I got Ismat to help me forge some documents to make things look official, and I reached out to them.
Cool. I'd say that's 1 stress. What's your plan here?
Just give me more stress. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, that's what flashbacks are. You
No, I
spend
know. I
stress
love
to,
it.
yeah.
No, I love it.
Because you knew they were here, and so it wasn't too much out of your way to do this. What's your plan here, Kora?
Okay. Sorry, my thing is lagging. Connection is unstable. Love that. Okay, I'm back.
Cool. And
So what were you saying? I'm sorry.
what's your plan here, Kora?
I want to reach out to the Broken Lance because obviously we need some backup and we have a common enemy. And I would like to hopefully call them for an assist, which
Cool.
potentially I could maybe sway them. I'm hoping because that's what I'm good at. So
Yeah, normally this would be standard effect. You have a bad rep now, though. So it's gonna be risky limited here.
Uh-huh.
What does it look like as you're calling them up? What are you asking them for?
I mean, I am just gonna say, hey guys. So obviously, Axiom knows that I'm rolling into town, and I'm sure you're aware that they don't love me, and I could really use some help.
I have a
They have
question.
Go ahead.
So the bad rep is basically Kandan kind of painting Kora as a defector and kind of like an
A
instigator.
defector and dangerous.
But oh, dangerous.
Well,
Okay,
okay.
because I was gonna say like
am.
maybe the Broken Lance
It's
would
not
like
him just painting me as I am a defector. I don't think I'm necessarily dangerous, but I am for sure a defector.
Yeah. Condon is painting Kora in a very bad light.
Yeah, just taking, the nuggets of what's already been put out there and just making them worse.
Do you want to push yourself for standard effect?
I don't think I should because I already have 5 stress.
Okay.
you cut the secret.
Do what?
How do we
So
assess
you cut the
if it's
secret from everyone, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might not have kept it a secret that I was contacting the Broken Lance, but I probably didn't tell everybody why.
So could I give the one stress assist to set up the connection?
Sure.
One of my ideas to
Yeah,
assist
because
too.
I mean, there's a possibility that I, if we're going even with the flashback, that I did ask Eddie to help me get in touch with them.
Okay, so
my
sure.
also contribution I was considering, and I don't know if we can all just assist or if this can be like a group action or something, but was to like kind of help vouch for some legitimacy with what Kora is doing.
Isn't it? Is it just one assist? I think it is.
Yeah, it's just
right?
one assist, and a group action doesn't really seem to
For a
make a lot
flashback.
of sense here.
Yeah.
I would think that because she's already aware that Eddie is a secret keeper, that she's probably fine with asking Eddie for help.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So does that
Does
improve the effect?
It gives you a die.
Oh, it gives me an extra die. Okay. So I'll take 3 because I'm doing sway. I have 2 plus 1. So we'll roll and we'll see what happens. I got 2 6s. So that was a good help. You did a good help,
Yeah.
Eddie. Good
so
job.
that is.
I don't fuck up all the time, just mostly.
I think honestly the thing that the message you get from this broken last contact you have that is in this, they ping you back with the video, that blowing shit up video. So this was you, right?
Oh, you also get increased effect because it's a critical.
I know, exactly.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's me. Is that a problem?
They look at the video, play the part where what did you blow up anyway? What was this? Because
are we going back even further than the last time I blew stuff up?
I don't know. Like what do you think this was a video of?
I thought it was a video of me blowing up the map.
Okay.
Like on our mission.
Okay, I'm just I wasn't sure. I was just making something up, but if that's the video, then that's the video. Cool.
Because I mean, it was a communications tower, right? So they probably had me on camera, and that's probably what's circulating. If it's that was like a relevant, recent event.
I think Radka gives a nod. Yeah, we can work with this.
Okay, that.
What do you want us to do?
I mean, there's a large mech that is trying to gun me down, and
okay, this is the conversation going on right now. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess like previously I would have said if I need cover, I'm going to call on you.
Okay.
And then now flash back to the present of me reaching out to Rocket and saying, "Hey, I need cover now."
Yeah, as like they're firing on Petrichor, I think a big old lance just bursts through their mech. And on the other end of it is a big is a medium-sized mech kitted out like a knight. And Rock says, sorry, can't be as explosive at sorry, couldn't be as explosive as your own Kora, but this will have to do.
That's perfect. Thank you.
And that's 2 ticks off of Candon's rival clock. Basically the way rivals work, they can keep interfering in the mission until their 8-tick clock is filled.
With
Actually,
8
it's 10
ticks.
Yep.
Okay.
But the convoy is under control. I want to switch back to Eddie. You've got control of the vehicle. We're gonna say that our infiltrator Leopold is set up in the convoy vehicle. What are you doing?
I'm really dumb and I always forget the special ability that I chose. When you push yourself, you can do one of the following. In addition to normal benefits, unleash a stroke of lightning as a weapon from the power grid, summon an AR storm in your immediate vicinity, swirling ads, flashing neon, heavy smog that will cause AR confusion. I probably should have done that as part of the that action that I did. Not that it has like any mechanical benefit. I feel like that's more, it's almost just like flavor, or maybe it could potentially increase effect or something depending, but yeah, I don't know what's the next most helpful piece of
So you're either gonna need to drive this convoy of the fuck away from this massive mech, or you're gonna need to attack the mech. I think those are the 2 kind of clear options here.
yeah, I guess being in in the somewhat in the driver's, not the driver's seat, but
I'd say like, Leopold can handle driving. So like it would be a matter of like taking over being the escort for this vehicle.
taking over
If you
being the
want it.
escort. Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
you
You're
were
saying,
really like, I want to be the driver for this vehicle, that's fine.
yeah, no, and it's like being an escort, like me in my mech escorting the convoy to
Yeah, because they
reduce
had
harm.
2 mechs escorting it, so.
Yeah, yep. I guess like I guess yeah, my strengths are my biggest strength as far as mech piloting is maneuver. So I don't trying to think of ways that I can contribute meaningfully with because fighting I have no dice in, so I'm like I'm picturing a classic video game escort mission and like what fighting off incoming threats or
escorting could entirely be maneuver. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then you can get the convoy out of the now combat area.
Sure. Perfect. I will do that. So yeah, just trying to get some control on this increasingly out of control situation and get them to safety. Yeah, anything more you need, or should I roll my maneuver dice?
Yeah, I'd say this is risky standard now.
Shit, yeah, I'm up to I better not spend any more stress. I'm up to 6, and if I push myself, I'll be getting very close to trauming out.
I mean, if you'd like a collateral die,
If you have one in mind, I'd
you need to make it out of here fast, and that's gonna mean letting which is actually more interesting here. I think it's gonna mean letting the convoy load take harm. I think that some of that food and medicine is gonna get ruined. Because you're gonna be taking the kind of a less safe route.
Yeah, what do you guys think? It's
Honestly, as far as Eddie's character, I think he would do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I don't feel like each passing around we're getting more and more under control, and we're just tying this thing off now. I don't feel like we're really in a position to turn down an extra die to get.
I think he would put it at risk. As far as Eddie's character, like that just seems like something he would do.
Yeah.
So I should clarify. It's not that you're putting it at risk. It's that it
done.
will get.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely.
I could F up completely, and it's still going to screw up the load on the. Yep. I think we're at a point we need to start taking that kind of deal. So I guess it'll be 3 dice. Take one off. Roll. Ooh, 4-1-1. Glad I got that extra die. That would have been real bad without the 4 there.
Yeah, you can see there, like, you can see Leopold keeping up with you, the pacing you're putting it through. This transport is being rocked, making a lot of hairpin turns through the outskirts of the city. I think I'd like to ask you to take level as you're kind of yourself making your way through here. I'd like to ask you to take level 2 damage as you are moving through this difficult terrain.
You didn't get assistance, right?
No, you didn't get assistance.
Okay.
Well, you're with the convoy, so if you can think of a way to assist, I probably shouldn't, because that will put me dangerously close as well to a trauma.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is push or assist myself. For assist I use stress, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I don't trust Eddie. So part of this
nobody
is
trusts Eddie. That's the theme, yeah.
So part of this is I see that they're going off this way, and I'm like, what are you doing? And kind of squeeze in between. I don't know how this will affect him, but squeeze in between one of the convoy vehicles and the wall it's about to hit, and just kind of lift it slowly out of the way. And it's the kind of thing where I'm trying to keep my attention on the person that just fired a bunch of rockets at me. So this might actually open me up to another attack, but yeah, I'm just gonna push to assist Eddie to try to get them through this more. So you get another die.
Okay.
Is that okay, Steven? I'll roll one more.
Yeah, just roll one more die.
Okay.
I think this is a cool ability.
Yeah.
And it is oh, I guess I have to take care of this too kind of thing. And
yeah, I see an ability that I like for mine that I might take when I get my playbook XP, Rook's Gambit. I can take 2 stress to roll the best action rating while performing a different action. So I think I'm looking at.
doesn't get you much more. I think you're gonna take here. No, I think with what we described, I think that the convoy, I'm gonna.
Do I take damage too, or something?
No, I think what I'm gonna describe here, because it was just risky. And with that other, I'll say that the convoy is getting pretty beaten up. No, I think that's. Yeah, I think that it's gonna be yeah, Petrichor. I'll say that you have level 2 harm, crushed arm.
Okay.
I think that's what happens as you like are shoving this this like
Rough.
squeezing yourself between this convoy and the wall.
Hmm.
Do you want to resist that?
I do not,
Okay.
because I will break down. Does that mean I'm out or what? Right?
Well, I mean,
Filling up your quirks doesn't break you down.
Yeah,
What
no,
breaks you
you
down?
can exhaust 2 more of your quirks, and it would bring
Actually,
that harm down.
This might be. I'm sometimes forget a little bit how breakdown quirks.
But I mean, like this, as me, the one rolling the action roll, like I haven't taken any damage, and normally I would be the one taking damage from my, like just suffering the consequences.
Yeah,
from
but
my
then
FF,
but then Petrichor threw themselves in there.
the assistance. Okay. Wait, can I take that on Petrichor's behalf?
Sure.
Yeah,
What
you
happened?
you can protect if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have no damage, and it's my you got hurt trying to help me. I'm like, that was dumb. Take your damn. Like no, I'll take my own licks that I got coming to me.
Okay.
So I don't know. Is it a crushed arm for me then, or?
Yeah, I'll say you get the crushed arm. Like there's this kind of jockeying as the two of you are trying to like help each other, and it ultimately ends with Eddie, your mech being slammed against the wall.
A well-oiled
You didn't use any of your quirks, Eddie, right? So you can
I've
resist
not
if
used
you
any.
wanted
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
You have to do 3 though.
Let's see. Where are my quirks? I know I have them. I have 2. Yeah, they're all on. So if I use all 3, then there is no that absorbs the consequence.
Do you have armor marked?
I do not. I mean, I guess I have armor. I used armor. I'm not quite sure the marking of it, how that works. So I've not used any in this mission, I guess.
It's worth
No,
too
you're
low.
anything that anything that is equipped to your mech is equipped to your mech until you spend material to unequip it. So you can mark some armor
from
now.
the last mission. You had armor from the last mission.
Yeah, I know.
You can mark
I just
some
not
armor
sure how
now
to
and
mark it
mark
on
it.
my because I had 2 X's on it, but I wasn't sure like burning a limited.
Yeah, burning it
resource.
it resets at the end of the mission. So
Yeah,
if you
so you
have
can do it
armor
now.
equipped, you have armor to again like spend to reduce harm.
So I guess I don't know how to indicate that I've
You click it when you use it. Like
There's
just like
there's like an armor, like you can mark down that you have a use of armor next to your
oh, I see. Yeah.
you can mark down that you have a use of it, and then when you use it up, you can erase it. Like now.
Okay. So I remove one of the 2 that I had. Yeah, I guess between my armor and my quirks, I guess I don't know what all I need to mark, but
so you have damage there, and there are a bunch of empty uses boxes. So like you've equipped 1 armor. So you, for example, start the mission with 1 armor marked. And then when you use it up, you can erase it, and it's reduced by 1 level.
okay. So erasing it reduced it from level 2 to level 1. I could use both to completely.
You only have 1 armor.
Okay.
It's too low to have 1 armor.
Okay. So it's now level 1, and then I guess and quirks only reduce the level. They don't eliminate it.
You can reduce it to level 0, which would get rid of it entirely.
Okay.
To resist the second harm, you'd have to exhaust 2 quirks, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, let me do that. Perfect.
Cool. But yeah, Petrichor and Eddie are escorting this vehicle. Kora, you are
Hanging out there.
hanging out there with this massive mech.
Yep. 1 second. Okay, sorry. My dogs are barking. Yes. Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
So,
what are you doing? It's just they've
um,
just been stabbed through by this
and this was the large mech that was coming at me
Yep.
initially? Okay. Um, I mean, I guess I know Leopold's not here, but on behalf of Leopold, I would like to call upon the Arbalest, and I want to take a shot of this guy,
Sure.
which is my directed energy weapon.
Yeah, and this would be, you don't really have anything that is interfering with you here, and they're kind of in a spot. This would be, I guess, your risky standard.
Yeah. Can I exhaust one of my quirks?
Yep, you can exhaust one of your quirks to.
Because I know when I use this, I usually exhaust my exposed mechanics because it is a volatile energy weapon.
Yep.
And so I guess this is a bombard, right? Can you
Yeah.
use it? Yeah. Okay. So that's 1, and then because I'm exhausting a quirk, I get an extra die. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll roll 2.
Yeah.
And then that's a 4.
Okay. So that marks off another 2 ticks on the rival clock. It's getting up there. Like, why didn't you describe for us? How does this look as you fire on them?
So if Raka has them distracted, along with everything going on with the convoy, because obviously Eddie and Petrichor are just having a fun time trying to navigate this convoy in the middle of everything, I assume that I am going to lock them. Again, probably with my AR, I think my eyes are going to go that sort of galactic purple so that I can actually hone in on them, which again calls to my call sign Artemis, being that I use my AR to see things, and I'm going to lock in on them. And you're going to see the horns once again kind of radiating this kind of volatile energy. It's not really something that probably should be directed, but somehow this mech just manages to coalesce it, and the just shoots it out, like I said, kind of like an arrow coming out of its quiver, and just fires right for the center of this guy.
Mm-hmm. Cool. It lands and blasts this mech along with Radka's mech back, because Radka is kind of engaged in melee with them.
Yeah.
As the smoke clears, and I'm spending the third of my rival moves here. This mech is like cracking and damaged. And you can tell, and you suddenly get in the AR that any camera feeds here have been shut off. and they're standing over Radka's mech, aiming one of their missiles at them. And you can hear Candon's voice.
Of course.
I've shut off the cameras, Kora. We have your friend. We have your friend. We have your friend, and I have no qualms about killing them. So how about when the cameras come back on, you play nice. And you're back down to desperate positioning here.
And I don't want to play nice.
Yep.
That's so boring.
We're gonna cut. Eddie Petrichor, you escort this vehicle back to
I was just helping Eddie with like the first sleeve. I wasn't gonna continue escorting it with him.
Okay. Eddie, in that case, Eddie, you make it as you pull up. It is like one of the only kind of new looking buildings here in the city. It is a big holy stone edifice where you could tell out front there is a soup kitchen that has been set up along some tents. There is an older priest of the forge directing several younger members, and when they see you approach, they go, wonderful, wonderful. We were running low on supplies here. I hope that that the way wasn't too difficult.
Problems are to be expected.
They're an older. You recognize them from your intel that some of you have gathered as Brother Causeway. Their face falls problems. Look, this medicine and food is in desperate need here.
Yeah, I'm picturing there's going to be, I don't know if, the reasonability of trying to drop this and move in without, or like the damage that occurred en route, that if it's going to be discovered or not, like there's zero chance that I'm going to be able to hide what's happened. I don't know, like how obviously visible is the damage from a cursory inspection.
He can tell that this is, was there an attack? I thought we had an agreement with the I thought we had an agreement that humanitarian aid shipments should be untouched.
I guess I asked to the party, like, is trying to pin responsibility for the damage to this thing, is there an obvious scapegoat that I want to
Axiom, right?
I mean, technically, this is Axiom's fault for starting in on us.
So to I guess, yeah, the shortest of flashbacks to like that, as we were doing the final leg, like, okay,
this is zero to say that you had this conversation.
Yeah,
by the way.
I show up with convoy, blast it to hell. What do I tell?
Yeah, like,
what do I tell these people?
You tell them that Kandan is to blame.
They blew up the building, you know. We were gonna hijack it anyway, but then we definitely like, nope, you are being violent.
You need to tell them that Kandan is to blame.
Okay, so what are you saying here? Like, and the important thing is, this something you are invested in them, like, believing going forward?
I mean, not to belabor the flashback, but to Kora, you know, what they say, why do I know this is Camden that did this? You know, why do I say Camden did this? They say, how do you know that? And I say, what? How do I know it was Camden that attacked?
You tell them that he did this because they hired me as part of this crew to transport this convoy?
Wait. So wait, they hired you, but they are responsible for attacking the convoy?
Yes. No, that not Axiom didn't hire me. Counselor Swan hired me, and Axiom is trying to pin this on me, and it's Camden's fault.
Without me completely internalizing all the machinations, could I say that to the receivers of the cargo?
Yeah, I think if you're giving them this story though, this is gonna be controlled standard sway.
I have a die in that, so
Yep.
I'm sure it will come out with a 6. I mean, what are the chances that it wouldn't? Literally, nobody could calculate that.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Don't look at me.
Do you want to push yourself for an extra die here, or accept or get a collateral die?
I have 6 stress, so this would be.
You know what? Can I, since I'm feeding Eddie this story, can I spend a stress?
I think that
to
you
assist?
were in the middle of fighting a giant mech.
Okay, fair enough. But I didn't know if that might count as like a setup. I don't know.
I think I want to keep this simple. Let's get this
Fair enough,
roll
fair
and
enough.
and we'll see what happens here. Because we're pushing on time, and I don't want to get into all
accurate.
this setup stuff.
I got a 2.
It's just controlled, though. I think that Axiom is because Brother Causeway looks puzzled at you and says, Axiom is providing security for us, and you're saying they attacked us.
They sure did.
I understand. I understand. The battlefield is, you can either push forward at a risky position here with this lie, but he is just giving you an out where he's like, I understand, son. The battlefield is a confusing place.
Yeah,
and not all
I
of
would
us
love
can...
to. I would love to achieve this objective of planting this idea, but with only 1 die every time I do it, I feel like I have a much better chance of making our lives much worse than better by
You can
pursuing this.
deliver the supplies inside, and
and yeah, I wonder if maybe I can like plant some evidence to make it clear to them. But yeah. I don't think convincing this guy verbally is going to get us anywhere.
Well, not with Eddie. And honestly, probably what happened in my head of what I'm imagining is that Eddie's trying to keep track of all of the details Kora gave him, and it's just getting botched with his like accent in translation.
Yeah, make them conform with the lies that Eddie is also telling.
Yeah, well, then like you just said that Kora can't assist me because Kora's in the middle of fighting.
Yeah.
So like you're like shouting this story to me over static and like like it was you couldn't give the assistance you wanted to give me. So like I'm just trying to pick up the pieces in my unskilled way. Like, so here's the thing.
This is what I can tell you, but I don't know if it makes any sense.
And the father says, the fog of war is ever present.
Yeah.
Just ignores my story.
Rejoice! Rejoice!
Cool.
Flashing back. I'm gonna ask Kora what she does first, and then I'll jump to you, Petrichor, to see your course of action here.
So what I
because he has specifically posed a offer to you, Kora.
Yes, and with that happening, I want to spend 2 stress, and I want to find out what are their or in what ways are their minds or their mind and soul vulnerable.
I think that the main vulnerability here is that Camden is negotiating with you, but this pilot in the mech itself, Issa Daher, is, you can tell they have a lot of pride, and you can play on that to drive a rift here if you wanted.
And what I want to do is I want to distract this pilot and set up Petrichor for a surprise attack. Is what I'm trying to figure out how to set that up. Because I don't like if they're focused on me, they're not focused on Petrichor. So that's the moment to like set them up for like a good blow on them. So what I need to maybe I should try and sway with them.
That sounds fair. What are you saying?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to play on their pride.
I mean,
And
I'd
get-
say like the clear thing here is that Candon is stepping in because he doesn't think that Issa can win on their own.
Fair enough.
What's the proposal
So-
exactly? I think I don't understand that. Is it just
Play
like
nice and be the villain for this
They want,
video.
yeah, they want to cut the feeds are off right now.
Mhm.
So what they're saying is they want to cut the feeds back on and have me, like basically stand down to them and like let them be the heroes of the story.
Yeah,
And I don't want that to happen.
so
Because
if
that's
the
just
feeds
gonna
were
feed
on
into their
right now, they
propaganda.
wouldn't be the heroes?
Exactly, because they're threatening to kill Rocco. Like we have our Broken Lance alliance with
yeah,
Rocco
they're holding
that came in and
someone.
helped
They're
us.
holding Raka hostage right now
Yeah.
to get this.
So that's why if the feeds were on,
Okay.
yeah. And I feel
I
like
have
at
an idea
this
for
point,
this.
like yeah, exactly. I was gonna say Petrichor is probably not wanting someone that's assisting us to die. So I
Yeah.
want to try and distract the pilot so that I can set you up to get a blow, is what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to figure out how to play on their pride. Since that is a weakness. And I'm thinking I'm gonna sway, obviously, and I'm gonna patch through. Is it Isa you said? Is that their name? Isa?
Yeah, Issa.
Isa. Okay. I want to patch through to them. And I want to be like, so obviously Candon doesn't believe in you. Like he's trying to orchestrate this whole thing and he doesn't think that you can stand up for yourself. What are your thoughts on it? You know, just kind of
Yeah,
just
give me
kind
a
of
risky standard sway here.
okay. And that's a 3.
Oh boy, 3.
Am I in a position to assist, or I'm not really re-engaged yet, I feel like.
I think in a second. I
Yeah.
think that I mean you get what you want, sort of, I guess. They say
I mean, really, I'm not trying to like really get in their head. I'm just trying to distract them.
I don't need Candon isn't the one that made me. I'm making Candon. And they raise up their rocket and like fire it right on you, Kora. You can mark as it crashes in, you can mark level. You can
Can I resist with chaff countermeasure?
that provides the fiction for how you're resisting.
Okay.
I think you can destroy a item.
I mean, I have quirks I can exhaust too.
Yeah, hang on. I haven't even said what the
Yeah, no, go ahead.
consequence
Go
is
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
yet, before we start like talking about resisting.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to just smash into those beautiful antlers of yours and like break them apart, and you're gonna wreck your directed energy weapon.
I don't want that. So I'm gonna resist. But what is it? What's the level on it?
You have only one resistance in expertise. That's going to be two quirks. Or no, three.
Is that it?
No,
Three?
three.
I can. I mean, I have three. I can. I
Uh
mean, I could spend them. That'll take all my quirks. I don't know if did we decide on the breakdown thing if we spend all the
yeah,
quirks?
I'm forgetting it now and I'm just checking. Um Exhausted. Yeah, its pilot can either send the vehicle limping home quietly or push past its limits. So it's not that, so you would be unable to keep using your vehicle after this, but you'd resist this consequence.
I mean, I feel like I have to.
Okay.
So, so I'm gonna do it.
So yeah, why don't you
Because
describe for us? What does it look like as you resist?
um I mean, I if I'm exhausting these quirks, they're coming for my antlers, which that's my top heavy quirk. I'm in the cramped cockpit in the head between the antlers, and I have a flashy mech, which means that they have a really good target on me. So that definitely plays into all of those quirks. So I am probably, since we're going with expertise, I'm probably maneuvering, but it's a little bit of a challenge with those quirks. So I am deploying my chop countermeasure. And what that looks like is with the exposed mechanics as well, that bits of my armor come off and sort of fly out as a means to derail the missile from my actual person.
Cool. I mean, the consequence here was that the gear is going to be junked, so I feel like that's
Oh, okay.
also.
I see.
Yeah, Petrichor. There's an opening here. What do you do?
Okay. Let's see. My original thought was to try to reveal the ploy they were gonna do. I'm not sure if the timing works out though for that. Uh,
You can. That certainly works.
so like I feel like maybe um Kora was expecting me to like blow him up or something, but I'm going to use my fine social data retrieval program to basically kind of like there's no like normal feed, but I am like getting the feed from their mech now, of them basically threatening Rocco while they were unarmed and like grounded, basically. Does that work?
Yeah. What action are you rolling with here? I think.
Scan, I think.
Uh, sure. Scan.
Because I'm like scanning their mech. And the way I envisioned it is like I have that orb that my mech is like using, and it just kind of like hovers above their head. And you like this is like very almost calling back to what Kora just did too, where like it's hovering above them and you see that like golden like citrine energy like corona around it. Um
Okay.
and I'm also gonna push myself, so I'm gonna use the burned psionic power converter. And you see this like bolt of like energy, like electricity come out from the orb. And it like hits the mech and you would expect it to be like this big attack, but it really just kind of like creates that connection to scan them. And then like what's the name of the pilot?
Issa.
Visa. So like while Cora is talking to them, the feed clicks back on, and then all of that information about like who she is specifically, like call sign, like identification, and then like the feed of their mech as they're like threatening Rocco, just get downloaded from retrieved from their vehicle.
Cool. Yeah, give me a risky great here. A scan.
Risky great.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, so it's just one, right? Oh, I pushed myself too.
Yeah, you're gonna push yourself?
So it's two.
Okay, yeah. Give me this
Yeah,
roll.
yeah, I burned a quirk for that. Can I get an extra die and make it desperate?
No, you trade position for effect.
You can take
Oh,
a
okay.
collateral.
But you can't push yourself for a die and take collateral.
Oh, okay.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah. You should. Oh, you trade position for smart. Yeah, great. Okay, I see. What is there a collateral die available?
Instead of pushing yourself.
Oh, you can't do both. Okay, I'm just gonna roll then. Got it.
Okay.
Heard. Okay. 5.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you're reaching out. Like I assume this is like not just regular social media trolling. You are straight up using some of your empath techniques, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can take the level 2 harm exhausted,
Cool.
as you are just pushing yourself through to get this done. But I think the social media just it floods all through your feed out. All these videos are getting launched, and I think that there's like a moment where Issa is going to fire on Kora again, but then you can see that they pause and they're getting a like they're getting a private message, and then they give a glance at Issa and Kora and say, "This isn't over. Candace telling me to pull out, but."
I think, yeah, I think my can I try to resist the harm to reduce it?
Yeah.
I think the idea is to just kind of like power through and like literally do that empath thing, and it is just kind of like I said stand down.
Yeah,
Like
that's
not even like
resolved,
in verbally, but like in feeling. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you don't have to do this, you can just leave. There's
Mhm.
no would that be resolve or
Yeah, resolve.
okay, so I just roll 1d and then subtract what I get
Yeah.
or how does it work again?
You roll 1d and subtract that number from 6.
Okay, cool.
And
So
then
that's fine. Will I stress out? That'd
you
be
might.
cool if I did.
Yeah, let's see.
Honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, so it's impossible for me to stress out at
Oh
this
no.
point.
Okay.
That'd be
Just
so
roll.
cool if I did though. Where's my thing? I can't find it. There we go.
I'm like 2 ticks away.
That's 3
Okay,
stress.
3 stress. So do I just is it still exhausted or just like 1? Or strained?
It's level 1 harm, yeah, like strained, tired. Okay. And we cut. Eddie, why don't you describe for us? You have access to the space, you're the hacker. How have you gotten access to their to their inner sanctum?
I hacksaw it
Mm-hmm.
with my elite hacksaw skills, and all the flavor of I don't know if I can find a quiet and spot to either I don't know if it's wireless or plugging in my I guess yeah. Am I still inside of my mech and I'm doing it all from
I assume
there?
you probably have to get out at some point because you actually need to enter this facility.
Sure. I wasn't sure how big the doorway was, but yeah. So I don't know whether wirelessly or wired in, and being surreptitious, which is all my normal operating procedure, and nodding at people as I'm looking nonchalant and hacking into their system to and I guess am I trying to locate in the facility where the most valuable everything that we want to steal is located?
Yeah,
or
I'm hand waving this part to you,
Okay.
describing it the fiction, because there's something more interesting I wanted to jump to as the
Okay.
actual like last
Sure.
difficulty here.
Yeah. So rapid typing and we have between uses maybe of my AR daemons or but so you're kind of looking for flavor to how this is happening mostly. Yeah. So this is real core Eddie's skill set stuff.
Cool. As you've gotten your way through this hacking into the inner sanctum, there is a chamber that is made out of all marble holy stone. It's mostly inert. It is a containment. And at the center is a spear that is in a black obsidian. But you have this ability. You see AR ghosts. You see the voids. You see the void ghosts. There is sprawling out from it into the air above it is a great form of golden eyes and crystalline wings. And just coming near it, you feel you want to, just seeing it, you want to scream out yourself to proclaim that it is risen.
Okay. So
it is clearly, how could they not see that this is a messenger of the Forge?
Okay, so spear in this form is splayed out.
It is clearly an a void ghost that is inhabiting this spear.
Oh, okay.
It is probably what the church would consider one of the false messengers.
So taking the spear means taking this AR entity with it. Okay. That sounds like not my problem. Yeah, so I guess I want to get the hell out of here with the spear. And I guess
this is like I said, there is like an actual like emanation of like this psychic presence coming from it. So the question is, how do you deal with that?
Do I need to like disable it or kill it, or can
however you want? Like what's your plan?
I mean, but can I just ignore it and take the spear? And
you could try to ignore it and take the spear. I'll probably in that case simply inflict something on you, and it's
it seems like a guardian that's trying to keep the spear there. I guess I wasn't sure if it's like it just goes where the spear goes, or
the containment is keeping this thing's energies inside. It is not keeping you out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, between my hacking or AR to try to disable the countermeasures to keep this out or attack the entity. I don't know if my Tesla ability, either a stroke of lightning or the AR storm to cause AR confusion, if either of those would come into play in this situation.
You could, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I just have to push myself with I have 3 more stress, so that means I still have 1 stress. So
what does it look like as you summon this AR storm? What does it look like within our world?
Yeah, I guess the example is given in the power description: swirling ads, flashing neon, heavy smog, shouting crowds. I mean, we're gonna blow the episode's CG budget with this scene for sure. I guess I just picture and I guess I harken back to what Eddie's bloody nose from the first combat that we had, and like this thing trying to worm its way into his head, he does not like at all. And so he sees it as kind of an assault on him, so he's like he's vindictively striking back against it and kind of deploying this Tesla power. It's like so I guess almost like coming to his lips, the phrase, like maybe he hears the voice, he is risen, and then like he whispers it under his breath, like maybe his eyes go kind of glazy, the audience kind of sees his will being sucked away by the thing, and it just suddenly he comes back into his own head. He's like, oh fuck that, and just like unleashes this kind of countermeasure to distract it or disrupt it or whatever.
Cool. So you get to start with, this is desperate standard. This thing is dangerous.
Okay.
Now you get the AR storm in addition to your core thing. So do you want to get increased effect, increased positioning, or an extra die?
Let's see. So I just have 2 dice, so probably I want all of those, but probably should just take the extra die to get as positive an outcome as possible. It's entirely possible I'm going to trauma out right now, so but yeah, I better grab that die, I guess. You said desperate standard or desperate
standard, yeah.
Okay. And I guess, I mean, is this I don't know, between fine coding program or my hack rig, or I have a fine augmented reality tool. By like checking that, could I
sure, this could be desperate great.
Okay, yeah, desperate great, 3 dice if that works.
Let's get this roll.
1, 2 more. 6.
That's a 6.
Woo!
You did it. I think that there is this moment where you are laying hands on it and it tries to worm its way in. But there's a moment where it looms powerful in your mind, but then the AR storm hits it and you can feel its form, at least temporarily, dispersing away within the confusion of this chaos.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think that's where we end the mission as you lay your hand upon it. I think there's actually one last word. You just hear it whisper, false idolater, I will rise. And then that's the last you hear of it.
Rejoice.
Yeah. That's the end of our mission.
Rejoice, you are buried. I don't know what's the opposite of rise.
So let's take a quick look at our mission completed. So with that all done, we get a supply roll. Who would like to make this supply roll?
I want to put that on Petrichor, because Petrichor was all about the convoy.
I spent my last 6, so you don't want me rolling it.
Oh, I was gonna say Eddie, because he's the one that, like, I guess I don't know.
I also want to ask, actually, Eddie, you were alone with this artifact. Do you give them the actual artifact, or do you give them the because you have managed to finagle your way into being the only person alone with the artifact for a while? Do you give the decoy artifact or the actual one to the rest of the crew?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's more interesting. I think giving the real I feel like we're gelling too much and people are shedding too much blood to I'm happier. There's both a mercenary reason why I want to continue in the good graces of my crew, and then also I think that the soft part of my heart is like I can't keep doing this. Like I don't, I'm just it's so yeah, for both, but whether it's completely mercenary or for the right reasons, I'm gonna give them the real one, and I'll pay the price for fucking over my handler.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do a new clock. Phoenix song is displeased. I'm just gonna mark 2.
What are you gonna do? Blow my head off with
4.
a neck bomb? Oh, literally blow my head off. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Neck bomb.
Yeah. So that is that. Yeah. Petrichor, how about you give us roll 2d6, because that was the rank of this squad.
Okay. 2d6. Rope.
So-
Hey,
four.
4.
Yeah, so you get 4. You get
Nice.
4 stuff. You can divide it up however you want. I'm fine with just leaving it until the end of downtime as like a floating 4 points.
Yeah.
I'll just make a note here for supply.
Yeah, we can figure that out with Leopold here too. So
Yeah, and after that, we then do employer supply bonus. You of course also get 1 extra trust and 1 personnel for this being an oligarchy.
Cool.
So let's do that. And okay. And then we do reputation. You get 2 rep. So if somebody could mark in the I've marked the rest, but I don't want to keep switching between them. If somebody could go to recon and mark, you get 2 rep plus another, you
2
get
rep,
4 rep
okay.
total.
Oh, 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we'll skip past that for now.
Killing it.
Did you do something that furthered your drive clock on this mission? Kora definitely did.
I sure
Get 1 tick on a
did.
drive clock. Eddie, do you think you did anything?
My drive clock. I guess I'm not sure what that mechanic is. What would that entail?
Like you have a drive, and if you think you did something on the mission that furthers your drive.
Get revenge on the authority who caught my squad? Not really, probably.
Okay. Petrichor?
Maybe.
What is it?
I can
I'll
argue that I did, but like also may have made it worse.
you can mark a drive tick.
Because like my thing is that I'm like showing that I can participate in the war without like just blowing people up. And like I'm also trying to like demilitarize this humanitarian effort to be like, no, we're not making this, like we're not using these people as pawns.
Sure. Mark a tick on your drive clock.
Cool.
So yeah, then we do status and trust. If a squad benefited, you consider +1 to their status. I think that the reliquary is definitely happy with how things have turned out.
Good job, Eddie.
What was that?
And I
I said,
can't
good job,
take,
Eddie.
I can't
He did
take
the right
any.
thing.
I can't take any credit for it because that would be entail telling everybody
What's a new opinion they have of you now?
You decide, Eddie.
They can be trusted with difficult missions or get the job. I don't nothing too original, but
Trusted is fine.
capable.
Yeah, capable works. And then I definitely think though that we're gonna mark 1 down in Axiom Entertainment. You
We have to.
what is their new view of you?
I get to just, well, I guess.
Meddlesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we defer to Petrichor on that one, so maybe that is correct.
Sure. And I'm also gonna you effectively, I think the builders don't quite know that it was you, so I'm not gonna mark the builders down as more angry with you. I think the people you really know you were involved was Axiom. You definitely also moved yourself closer to manufacturing some heroes. That's the status. Oh, come on, back up.
Manufacturing heroes.
And then your employer trust. This was your so the objective was completed. So you trust equal to double the target's tier, which was in this case 4. You didn't break any of the rules of engagement. Yeah. And I'd say looking here, it wasn't damaged. I'd say probably you lose the 3 trust with the church, and you gain 4 trust with your patron faction, which actually I think bumps you up. You now have a relationship of +1 with your patron faction.
Hey.
Which makes it basically the higher your trust of your patron faction, the better you basically get an extra die. You get an extra die
For engagement or
for your payout
Nice.
in the future.
did
I'll
we
take
do
extra
squad
die.
XP already?
Not yet. This was all I'm just getting through payout.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and now finally we're gonna do entanglements. If the squad targeted by the mission belongs to a faction, use your relationship with that faction. Who would like to roll a
I feel
start
like
with
this
3
is
dice,
definitely
subtract the
Kora's
squad's
entanglement.
relationship with their patron, or the faction with the highest relationship. So who would like to roll 2 dice for me?
I'll do it.
Yep.
It's me.
And we're going to be using
Should-
the -1. We're going to use in table B.
Table B.
Because the church is now at -1 relationship with you.
Should I put modifier -1?
No, you're just rolling 2D, and then we're going to look at this table.
Okay. So I got a 1 and a 5.
Oh boy. One of your superiors grills one of your pilots or a cohort.
Probably me.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be you.
Yeah, I'll take
We'll
that.
resolve that. We'll resolve that next time because we're running.
I get to be the Eddie this time. Eddie
Yep.
got grilled last time.
Oh, we are going to find so much dirt on this swan. We already know he's up to things, and not to worry, we'll put him in his
Okay.
place.
And now with that, let's go into XP here. Let's go with our empath, Petrichor. Did you address a challenge with understanding or poise?
I think I definitely did a few times.
Yeah, so 2
Poise
XP for
anyway.
that. And
Do
remember
we do
that-
do we want to do the recon one first or
I was going to do that last.
okay, cool. So two poise. Where's my thing? Okay, what's
Yeah.
next?
You can put it in any of the it's all the way down at the bottom right, row
Okay.
57.
I think I'm gonna put it in the playbook.
Yeah. Did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
Yeah. I definitely did opening and history and tragedy.
Yeah, and did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or quirks?
I
think at least a little, because you have this whole pacifism thing.
Yeah. And then also like not trusting Eddie to just take care of the convoy.
Also, not trusting Kora and still assisting.
Do you think that I felt like one? I don't know about two, maybe
Yeah,
two.
maybe one.
Okay, I'm so
Okay.
close.
Yeah. And our envoy,
Me.
did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
At least a couple of times, and I think at least 2 XP worth, because I did try to influence at the start to kind of level it down. I did
Yeah.
contact the Broken Lance. I did try to deceive and influence at the same time the Issa, the pilot. So I think at least a couple of times.
Cool. And did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
I sure did. I would say my history, when I reach out to Ismat, I would say my tragedy and my opening as well in my situation with Kandan. So I would say maybe a couple there as well.
Yeah. You also yeah, and this we'll also get into in a little bit. So yeah, and did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or quirks?
My quirks, definitely, I've exhausted all of them. And that was definitely a situation with like being fired on. Again, can't help being a target. But also I think my beliefs with Eddie, because I worked a lot with Eddie and I don't trust Eddie. And I've been working a lot with Eddie. So definitely something that I think that Kora is struggling with, but also trying to find a new belief for Eddie. And that's what I want to explore, hopefully in downtime as well, and get a new
Yeah.
belief.
And you also, it's not listed there, but you get an XP for contributing at least 1 tick to defeating your rival.
Cool. So what would we say that's a total of, with that, maybe 6 XP?
Yeah, 6.
Okay.
And then add 2 beliefs. You're add 2 ticks to your beliefs about add 2 ticks to your Candon clock, and you can, whenever you want, add some new beliefs about Candon.
Sure. Love that. So I did, because I was 1 tick away from filling out my playbook XP, I did fill it up. So I am going to take Rook's Gambit.
Cool.
And then I
Hacker.
will just mark us. And I can use these. I can't have more than 2, but I can use these towards moves in my pilot actions, right? And my vehicle actions.
What was that?
I can use XP towards like my pilot and vehicle actions, but I can't have more than 2.
You can also put them into the vehicle pilot and vehicle actions tracks. Yes.
Okay.
Eddie.
I was thinking 4 total. Knowledge and digital power. I feel like I got a couple, and then just maybe 1 each for the sticky relationships, both with my handler and the other pilots and everything. But I'm open to alternatives on those if people disagree.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Then for our crew, did you execute a successful? Yes, you did. You got 1 for that. I'll just say that straight up. Did you face off against challenges above your pay grade? I'll just answer these. I think you definitely did too, because you both dealt with the convoy and then also this rival showing up. Did you bolster your squad's reputation or develop a new one?
I would say we
Scrappy?
bolstered with the feed that Petrichor released.
Yeah, Scrappy definitely makes sense
And
here.
meddlesome with the Axiom, right?
Those are opinions. Reputation is the thing
Oh,
you
I
have
see.
up here, Scrappy.
I see.
Yeah, I think just having any level of success against a much higher tier faction is pretty scrappy. But
I also think though that in general we bolstered our rep with the feed that Petrichor released because that, and maybe that establishes a new reputation because I was vilified, and then now they just showed that I was not the villain in this scenario.
Maybe. We'll talk about that maybe next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, sure.
Did you express the goals, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the squad?
Conflicts, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What is
little
our
bit.
essential nature?
Eddie definitely leaned into that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say at least one for that.
Sure.
Do you think anything else?
I don't know. Do we have goals that are outlined for the squad?
I feel like our essential nature is like as an experimental like manufacturing heroes thing.
Cool. That makes sense.
Maybe just because like we did show up and are like we're taking control of the situation. We basically did non-violently, right? The only person that attacked anyone was the Lancer,
Well, I
right?
attacked as well, but
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I
But
sure
like
did.
I feel like I mean my character definitely did it like was just like the like with aura of personality just kind of was like okay,
That makes
we're gonna
sense. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we'll talk about what advance we want for the crew next week. Until then, I'll be seeing you all. And have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
bye.